A computer process execution and protection states can be explained through the analogy of buying a coffee. And not just any coffee, but the coffee served by that cute little barista. Oh yeah. But that is the end of the story, so let's rewind and see how that coffee came into action. It all started when the barista, let's call her Sally, met Harry. And Sally was ready to dilly-dally. But in order for Harry to make his move and get close to Sally, Harry knew that he had to make his move whilst Sally was in one of the following states. These process execution states are important for your CISSP exam, so let's examine these in the context of this analogy. Starting with the ideal state, which is when Sally is ready for Harry, which means Harry is next in the queue to make his move, because Sally is ready. So get in there, Harry lad, before the next process or customer shows up. Or even worse, when Sally is occupied in other states for other customers, such as the waiting state where Sally is waiting for the coffee machine to do its thing, or even the running state where the coffee machine is doing its thing. Now, both these states are problematic to Harry shooting his shot because Sally ultimately can't see Harry whilst in one of these two states. Now, ultimately, the waiting or the running state will eventually return to the ready state, but there are some caveats that may delay this process, which are important CISSP technical notes. For example, the running state can quickly turn into the waiting state. Say if the coffee machine broke or ran out of a certain item, or another barista was taking too long. And once in a waiting state, well, who knows how long that wait could be. What's more, there's a hidden state within that wait known as the supervisory state, or supervisory state, which requires a higher level of privilege in order to do an action, such as fix the broken coffee machine, which may require an escalated privilege, such as a manager's password, which means the original running process will run in a higher privilege ring. And this leads us to the last dreaded state for Harry, which is when Sally has fully stopped. This could be because a process, e.g., fulfilling the coffee order, has finished or has been terminated or has even errored. Either way, it has gone to a stopped state. At this point, the next customer will be served and Harry will be ignored. Now, for the more sinister side of this analogy, imagine Harry is not happy at being ignored, and as a full-blooded male full of testosterone decides to take action without Sally's permission. And as a result, Harry could be isolated, which means he would be confined and bound to areas away from Sally. You can think of this as a process restraining order. But in the CISSP technical exam, it's important to remember the following concepts. The use of bounds enforce confinement, which leads to process isolation. And this whole enforcing of process isolation, you can think of an edge case when needed, for example, when Harry becomes a bad boy. But in reality, this is probably the exception rather than the norm. But for completeness of this video, I just wanted to touch on this important concept alongside the process execution. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed the content as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you would like to see more content like this, it would be super fantastic if you could leave a like and subscribe to help support this channel's growth.